digging into a big one. Leaky gut. So much buzz, right?
Oh, definitely. Lots of questions.
Yeah, and maybe some confusion, too. You sent us
Oh.
some really interesting materials on this, so we're excited to kind of unpack it all.
Find out what's actually going on. It's
Yeah.
true. Leaky gut, I mean, you hear that term everywhere.
All the time.
And often it sounds, kind of scary or like this catch-all for loads of different symptoms.
Right.
So, yeah, our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear. Let's look at the materials you shared, figure out what this thing really is, what it genuinely means for health, and, what the actual science is saying. No hype.
No hype, no fear-mongering. Love it. Okay, so let's get into it. What is leaky gut? How do we even picture this?
Well,
I was thinking, maybe imagine your gut lining is this really strict bouncer at a, I don't know, super exclusive club.
okay, I like that analogy.
Right, so nutrients, yep, you're on the list, come on in. But toxins, undigested bits of food, all that junk you don't want floating around in your bloodstream.
Nope, door's locked.
Exactly, velvet, ropes up. But what the sources seem to suggest is that leaky gut is when that bouncer maybe gets a bit tired.
Right, worn out.
Maybe from chronic stress, like you eat too much processed stuff, I don't know, other things. And suddenly, whoops, the velvet rope drops.
And things slip through that shouldn't.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good way to visualize it. The more scientific term you'll see is intestinal permeability.
Intestinal permeability.
Okay.
And, for quite a while, there was some real skepticism about this in, let's say, mainstream medicine. Was it a real measurable thing or
Just sort of a fringe idea.
pretty much?
Yeah.
But what's really interesting in the research we looked at is how much that understanding has, evolved.
Okay, so that's the key question then. Given that history, where do our sources say the scientific consensus is now? Is it still kind of dismissed or no? And this is what's genuinely exciting, I think. The sources pretty clearly confirm that leaky gut or increased intestinal permeability is real.
It is real.
Yeah. They specifically point to this protein called zonulin.
I think I saw that mentioned. Zonulin.
Exactly. And discovering zonulin was a bit of a game changer because it acts like the master key, basically controlling those tiny little door gaps between the cells in your gut lining.
So it opens and closes the doors.
In a way, yes. Its discovery really helped shift the scientific view, confirming that this leaky mechanism isn't just a theory. It's, a biological process we can actually measure.
Got it.
And this is crucial, the nuance that the sources really emphasize is that it's not always the big bad villain causing every single problem.
Okay.
Often it seems to be more of a symptom.
A symptom of something else.
Exactly, a symptom of deeper issues, like that chronic stress we mentioned, or maybe a diet that's,
Straight out of a gas station.
you said it. So understanding that distinction helps us see past the buzzword, right? It's about what's causing that increased permeability. The bouncer is tired because something else is going on.
That makes a lot more sense. It's like a red flag, not necessarily the fire itself.
Well put. Yeah.
Okay, so if someone thinks, maybe this applies to me, what are the first steps? What do the sources recommend? I'm guessing it's not just panic buy every probiotic on Amazon.
Huh. Yeah, probably not the best first move, though it's tempting, right?
Totally.
No, the materials we looked at outline some really foundational steps, things that support overall gut health and address that permeability. It's not just about quick fixes.
Right, so what are they? Diet first?
Diet's definitely a big one. The advice is pretty consistent. Ditch the gut grenades.
Gut grenades. I like that. What are those?
Things like ultra-processed foods, loads of excess sugar, maybe too much alcohol, stuff that generally tends to inflame the gut lining and, make that bouncer even more tired and stressed out.
Okay, cut out the bad stuff. Makes sense. Then what? Add good stuff.
Exactly. You need to feed the good bugs. Focus on things like fermented foods.
Like yogurt, kefir?
Yeah, or kimchi was one example specifically highlighted in the sources. And lots of fiber-rich plants. Basically, food that your beneficial gut microbes love.
Gotcha. Feed the good guys. What about supplements? Because that's another area that feels like a minefield. So many options.
It really can be overwhelming. The materials do suggest some supplements can be helpful, but with a purpose?
Purposeful supplements, okay.
Yeah, things like L-glutamine came up. It's often described as like the gut lining's BFF because it's fuel for those intestinal cells.
Okay.
Zinc is another one, and sometimes collagen is mentioned. But the absolute key takeaway, as you sort of hinted at...
It's not one size fits all.
Exactly. Personalization is crucial. What helps one person might not be the right fit for someone else. You really need to consider the individual situation.
Right. Okay, so diet, maybe some targeted supplements.
Yeah.
But you mentioned stress earlier. That feels like, I don't know, the elephant in the room sometimes.
Yeah.
How does stress actually connect to this leaky gut idea, according to the sources?
Oh, it's a huge connection. Really important. If we think about that bouncer analogy again, stress basically tightens those gut doors like a nervous bouncer.
A nervous bouncer.
Okay.
How?
Well, chronic stress puts your whole body into that fight or flight mode, right?
Yeah.
And that directly impacts your digestive system. It can affect blood flow to the gut, muscle contractions, and even how those tight junctions, the door gaps, operate. They can become less effective, more
Yeah.
permeable.
Okay, so stress literally makes the gut leakier.
It certainly seems to contribute significantly, which is why the practical stress-reducing actions suggested in the sources are so vital. Things like consciously taking deep breaths, prioritizing sleep, really making an effort there.
Yeah, sleep's huge.
And definitely avoiding things like, doom reading Reddit threads about your symptoms at 2 a.m.
Oh man, guilty. But yeah, that makes sense. These are actionable things beyond just food.
Totally. It's about calming that whole system down, including the nervous bouncer.
Okay, so it's all connected, but with all this buzz, all the talk online, how do we separate the real connections from the, let's be honest, sometimes wild claims? I feel like I've seen influencers blame everything acne, anxiety, even like bad Tinder dates on leaky gut.
Right. It gets a bit much sometimes.
Where do the sources draw the line? What's legit versus just hype?
That's a really important distinction to make. The sources we reviewed do confirm some legitimate connections between increased intestinal permeability and certain conditions.
Like what?
Things like IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. That link seems pretty well supported.
Okay.
Also, those frustrating autoimmune flares where the body's immune system mistakenly attacks itself, there seems to be a connection there too.
Interesting.
And potentially even mood swings. That's often explained by the gut-brain axis.
Ah, the gut-brain connection. Yeah.
That direct communication highway between your digestive system and your brain. So changes in the gut could plausibly influence mood.
Okay, so IBS, autoimmune issues, maybe mood. Those are the more solid links.
Based on the materials, yes.
Okay.
But then you get the exaggerations. The sources had a funny line basically saying, if someone claims leaky gut causes your cat to ignore you,
Yeah.
then you should probably give them some serious side-eye.
Okay, fair enough. So check the source, check the claim, use critical thinking.
Absolutely. It really encourages you, the listener, to evaluate information critically. Question those really broad, sweeping statements.
Okay, so wrapping this up,
Yeah.
the big message seems to be your gut. It's incredibly important, kind of like you said, almost a second brain,
It really is central to so much of our health.
and treating it well based on actual knowledge, not just hype or fear. That seems really valuable. Our internal bouncer deserves some respect, maybe a raise.
Definitely deserves some support. And maybe that's the final thought to leave everyone with. Just understanding this connection, how our daily habits, our food, our stress impacts our gut health. It's actually really empowering, isn't it?
Yeah.
It lets us make more intentional choices that are right for us. So maybe just ponder, what's one small personalized step you might think about taking next for your own gut health journey?
I love that, a small step. So hopefully this deep dive gave you some solid food for thought, literally and figuratively. Maybe go eat some sauerkraut.
Or don't.
Right. Or don't. The goal, as always, is just informed choice, not rigid rules. Thanks for diving deep with us.